The world runs on stories. We've known this truth since we were little kids when our parents read us fairy tales about princesses and princes, the dragons, the different adventures of all types of different characters exploring the world around us and the worlds in our imagination. That is the power of the story. It's been with us for thousands of years. It's how we convey information, it's how we connect with other people. In business, stories have the exact same impact. I once read a quote by Daniel Kahneman, a psychology professor who had written a book about how we make decisions called Thinking Fast and Slow. The quote said, "Nobody ever makes decisions based on a number. It is always based on a story." What he meant by that was that if I give you a number, say 80% of people do something, you will have a hard time making a decision just based on that number. You will want to know which people, why, what led to that number, what is the end result. And if you wrap that number into a nice coherent story, you will make decision making that much easier. Stories make decision making very easy. In marketing and in sales and advertising, stories sell. If you're old enough to have seen the ad for Mac from 1984, you will remember the story that that ad conveyed. Let me paint a picture of that ad. You see a theater, a movie theater filled with people dressed in gray, watching on the big screen a man with a thick mustache talking about some sort of obedience and conformity. Then you see a woman running through the theater with a hammer, sledgehammer, followed by a police trying to stop her. She runs into the theater, stops as they watch, and then throws the hammer into the screen, breaking the hammer, breaking the screen. And then the commercial says at the end, you will, in 1984, you will see why 1984 will not be like 1984. I might have messed up the actual quote. The story there is based on the story written by George Orwell called 1984, about an authoritarian future where all your thoughts are monitored. You are told exactly what to think and what to say, and if you step out of line, you will get removed from the society permanently in many cases. The story of the ad said that whatever Mac or Apple is going to bring to the people is going to be earth-shattering, breaking you out of this monotonous life where everything was as you were, and it will give you the world of free thinking and creativity. That was the story in the ad. And for the people at the time who could make the connection between 1984, the book, and then 1984, the ad, it was so powerful that within a few months, the Mac was selling 800,000 units per month, or something similar to that, to those numbers. That was just one ad of that with a story that created such an effect. Steve Jobs and his team did repeated this feat with the Crazy Ones commercial, where you have to be crazy enough to think that you can change the world in order to change the world. And that was the introduction to the iMac line, to the new Mac, the new computers, Mac computers that also revived Apple and brought them again to the forefront of computers and creativity and technology. So that was another story that they told in the ad and in their campaigns. That's all you kind of needed to have in order to bring people to, in order to get people to make decisions and make the purchases of the Macs, to identify themselves with these stories. That is the power of storytelling. That is the power of making a connection with your clients, with your leads, with your target audience, and becoming part of their mind, part of their lives. Because once you do that, once you make that connection through the stories, you are with them wherever they go. They are with you wherever they go. They understand intimately what you are all about, what you are selling, what your values are, and if they identify with them, they are more likely to buy. A good story is a difference between trying to sell by yelling into an empty well and trying to advertise your product to a stadium full of adoring, ready to buy anything fans. So that's what storytelling is all about. And if you want to learn the very basic story format on how to create stories um, in your content, in your videos, in your posts, check out my next video tomorrow, and where I will share with you the very simple story structure that you can use every day in your stories to market your products and services to your customers.